Hostile dropping into the area. Watch the skies. Firing rocket.
Come on, come on, come on. Did I get it? No, I didn't get it. Fuck. Oh, yeah, I got it. I downed the... There we go. That's funny. Welcome to the Roundup, episode 17, where we corral all the freshest news stories and bring it to you live every Thursday at 5 p.m. from downtown Canada. This week, Call of Duty Nuke event gets announced, Microsoft and Nintendo teaming up maybe, Us Remake in the works, and much more. Thank you for the click, and I stream from Monday to Thursday at 5 p.m. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Cole_Drake41 and enjoy the video. We got when and where to watch Warzone's map destroying nuke event. So this has been rumored for a while, but we finally got confirmation for it. So this is from Forbes, Eric Kane. So Call of Duty Warzone and Black Ops Cold War are nearing the end of Season 3 is just around the corner, and all signs point to some very big changes. Not very big changes because we know what's coming next, but the most monumental of these changes is the destruction of Verdansk, the map we've come to love and hate. Generally just get bored of over the past year. The familiarity breeds contempt and all that, you know. It's all looking certain. It's looking almost certain that Verdansk will be nuked next week, and something new will take its place with the 1980s version of Verdansk to bring more in line for Black Ops Cold War. So, even though we're getting a 1980s version of Verdansk, I was hoping for a new map, but at least I hope they change it up enough that it'll feel different. I hope they do, because I talked about it was 2 weeks ago where I showed this little video that showed it was like a leak of a trailer for the new map, and they showed dam like they showed dam back in the 1980s. It was just like a bridge instead of a dam. So I'm assuming there's gonna be water pouring into the river, which will be cool. And then you have to swim across the river. That would be pretty sick. Because right now, imagine having boats and you can go around the like the river in the middle, and you can go by the boats, stuff like that too. That'd be sick, actually. That'd be really interesting. Okay, almost looking certain that the Verdansk will be nuked next week. Okay, we already said that. Whatever happens, it's happening soon. The official Call of Duty Twitter account posted this 4/21/21. Okay, so let's watch this video quickly. I don't really hear any sound. Is there not supposed to be any sound? That's weird. This is 1 week away next Wednesday, and it will almost certainly be a big game event like the Cold War reveal. I missed that reveal. I'm really pissed off that I missed it because I saw videos about it, and it looks super cool. Like the idea of just running towards the stadium, getting there to watch the trailer. This means you'll either want to be logged into the game or turned into one of your favorite streamers before 12 p.m. Pacific, so it's 3 p.m. Eastern. So for that day, I might have to start the stream earlier so I can be... Yeah, I'm going to have to start the stream earlier so I can stream it at the same time. The event itself will apparently take place at DAM, and according to the little teaser sent out to some streamers, influencers, where is my helmet and note Activision? What the heck? That's interesting. Let's check out this little tweet. Once the hostiles reach here, we levy a guess that Verdansk is all but gone and damned. Okay. Interesting. So what does Fortnite become? Okay. The note reads, once the hostiles reach here, we levy, I guess that's what it means. Levy a guess that Verdansk is all but gone. Okay. The hostiles in questions are like zombies and that have infected Verdansk. A nuclear missile has been discovered beneath the city, and missile silos appeared in Season 2's dam, referred to said zombies, but also presumably the dam itself, as the world levies suggests. So nuclear bomb dam goes off, Verdansk is flooded into oblivion, and the zombies are nuked back to hell. What happens after remains to be seen. I'm hoping, again, against the reason that you'll get an entirely new map rather than a reskin Verdansk. It seems like it's gonna be a reskin map, honestly. I still think a jungle theme map would be cool and different, more colorful. If I'm not getting my hopes up, you're getting your hopes up, buddy. It's gonna be a. There's already video footage of it out. It's for sure gonna be a different. It's gonna be Verdansk in the 1980s. Okay. So on to the second news story. Sony PS5 update enables external storage for next-gen games with a caveat. I'm surprised that there didn't. So okay, so the whole story is about you can't like move your games, your PS5 games, onto an external storage and just to store them. You had to keep them on the actual internal SSD. And now they're letting you at least like store the games on a USB. Not play them off the USB, but at least let you store them. Beginning April 14th, PS5 owners will finally be able to offload their next-gen titles to external storage. The update announced Tuesday addresses in part what many saw as the console's biggest shortcoming after launching. Sorry, November 2020. With only 667 gigs. That's crazy. Like, Call of Duty is at least 400 gigs if you put Modern Warfare and Black Ops Cold War on there. That's absolutely incredible. Of space on PS5's solid state drive, the next gen's averaging around 50 to 60 gigs. Users often had to remove PS5 versions of the game they weren't actively playing and re-downloading them if they wanted to play with them. Now users can keep them on a compatible USB drive. Still, they will need to migrate them back onto the console to play them. This should have been something that they added day one. I think you were allowed to do that on an Xbox Series X because Xbox Series X does the same thing. They have an SD storage as well, where you can only play it off the SD storage, but you're allowed to put games on an external storage. Sorry, excuse me. In the blog post Tuesday, Sony noted that the migration process between the console and external drive is faster than re-downloading the games. Users cannot, however, PS5 games off external storage drives as they can play with PS4. The blog posted also noted PS5 games cannot be downloaded directly to the external drive. Oh, they can't be. Okay, so they can. That's kind of annoying. The blog. Okay, let me reread this. The blog post also noted that PS5 games cannot be downloaded directly to external drive. Oh my god, that's so annoying. So let's say if your storage is full and you just want to download this game, but you have to unload a game off this internal SSD so you can put it on there. That is so annoying. I don't get what the problem is. Like, you're not playing it on there. It's the same thing when you migrate it. Why can't you just download the game onto the regular hard drive? Doesn't make any sense to me. That's the caveat I think they were thinking. Sony has stated previously that the console will support additional storage via M.2 drives in the future. As such, the update is something of a stopgap that lessens but doesn't eliminate the inconvenience of the PS5's limited storage space. Some of the console early titles have already run into storage issues, with Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War requiring 200 GBs of space when players include Warzone, Battle Royale, other modes. Other titles like Hitman 3, Destiny 2 eat up over 100 gigabytes. That is insane. Other features of the update include cross-gen generation share and play, allowing PS5, PS4 users to share their screens with another. The update also incorporates a new way to quickly disable in-game chat or reduce the volume of players' chat if they don't know how or just refuse to adjust their microphone settings. Once developers opt in, the PS5 will also allow players to pre-download all game updates, eliminating the time users must wait for enjoying new content. Sony also announced several new features for the PlayStation app. You can read the full update details. Okay. That's annoying, man. That you can't just download it right on the store, so you have to make space. So that means like you have to have at least 60 gigs of space no matter what on your PS5 internal storage. And it's only, what was it, 666 gigs? That's insane. Yeah, if I were somebody who want to buy a PS, actually I do want to buy a PS5, but I want to buy it like later on. I don't want to buy it right now. I honestly, I'm not one of these people who gets like create like buy stuff like day one because usually there's something wrong with consoles. They usually break, and plus there's never like I don't know when's the last time there was an actually good game day one to buy on a console. I'm just trying to think to myself like when was the last time that happened? Um, PS4, nothing that great. What Shadow, Killzone 4? It's a game I wanted to play, but I didn't want to buy a whole console for. Xbox One had. What did Xbox One have? Xbox One had the that Rise Son of Rome. That game looked pretty decent, but I'm not gonna pick it up right away. Uh, so there's no good games. Literally, like I think the last couple of console generations, there hasn't been that many. I think Halo was like the last great console, like killer app. I don't know. I could be wrong about that. You guys can tell me. Maybe Nintendo had something, but I don't really follow Nintendo that much. But this is okay. So this is huge news. This is not even news. It's a leak that might be true. So this is from Game Rant. Leaker teases potential Microsoft Nintendo partnership coming later this year. This could be huge. A person behind multiple accurate video game related leaks suggests that the deal between Microsoft and Nintendo is in the works. Rumor has it that when Microsoft first decided to enter into the console market, the company executives approached Nintendo. This is a funny story. Yeah, so they offered the Japanese company, and they apparently laughed out of the room. Imagine just going up, yeah, we'll buy you for this much money. I actually wonder how much the actual figure was back then, because Nintendo's probably worth a lot of money now, billions of dollars. I don't know how much they're worth, but they're probably worth a lot of money. Imagine going there and just getting. I could just imagine that like in a movie, just coming in and just getting your laughed out of the room. That's funny. The two companies. Okay, but now, now some 2 decades later, it seems as though the two companies may once again be in discussions about some kind of partnership between the two tech giants. And if recent rumors are to be believed, it could come to fruition later on this year. On somewhat reputable leaker has taken a Twitter to reveal that an announcement about a deal with Microsoft and Nintendo could be coming in fall, although they provide very little information as to what the potential partnership might actually entail. Naturally, this has to lead to an immense speculation, with many people replying to the tweet to give their thoughts on what, if anything, might be in the store. Sure. There are many different ideas, although two seem to be cropping up a lot more than others. God of War creator says Sony will have a response to Xbox Game Pass. There's got to be, man. It's too good of a, I think a lot of people are going to be switching to Xbox because of Xbox Game Pass. And plus, the console's way more powerful, and Xbox is buying all these great development studios, so they're going to be pumping out amazing games. And I'm going to be playing them all because I'm on PC. I'll never have to buy an Xbox again. Yes. They're playing. Okay. The most popular suggestion is Microsoft's Xbox Game Pass may be coming to Switch, and there's plenty to support such hypothesis. It has long been rumored that the Switch Pro will be announced this autumn, and more powerful consoles would likely remove some of the hardware limitations, and that have far prevented many of the titles on Game Pass from being ported to the Switch. This would seemingly suit both parties, enabling Nintendo to launch its rumored new console with a major lineup of titles, and allowing Microsoft to bring its service to a console that sold almost twice as many units as the Xbox One. My question is, if they do this with Nintendo, will they do the same thing with Sony? Or maybe is the blood to, like maybe Nintendo and Microsoft are, I guess they're maybe more happy to work with each other, while Sony and Microsoft have been battling each other for years now. Because I think of Nintendo Switch not even like part of the console wars. They're just like doing their own thing in the corner. But they were very successful this generation with the Switch. The Switch sold way more, as I said, it's way more than the Xbox One. Otherwise, however, are hoping that Halo Master Chief will instead be coming to. Okay, so the cat seems out of the bag on Nintendo. This is I guess a leaker. The cat seems to be out of the bag on Nintendo and Xbox. You'll hear more in the fall. Okay. Others, however, are hoping that so if they're gonna make a deal to bring Game Pass to Nintendo, Nintendo has to make in order for this partnership to work, Nintendo has to bring their games to Xbox. I don't know. I'm not the biggest Nintendo guy, but imagine playing, Legend of Zelda. Maybe not every single Nintendo game comes on Game Pass for Xbox. Maybe their older catalog, maybe Skyward Sword, or maybe what was the recent Legend of Zelda? Breath of the Wild. Maybe that comes on Game Pass. It could be a possibility. Others, however, are hoping that Halo Master Chief will instead be coming to Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Granted, this would be nowhere near as significant as Xbox Game Pass on Switch, although the character is one of the most requested DLC. So if they're partnering with each other, this is gonna happen for sure. If these rumors are true, which seems like they're going to be true, then I honestly I think he's gonna definitely be in. That would be sick. As a DLC fighter for Smash, one of the most notable absentees from the game's roster. Of course, it could be something completely different, or one or two speculating. Nothing at all, with the leaker having accurate predicted to Embracer's Group's acquisition of Gearbox. So, we did a news story about that a couple of weeks ago, where Embracer Group bought Gearbox, and Final Fantasy Remake appearing on PS Plus. Though mostly them fairly credible resources. If true, this wouldn't be the first time that either of the companies involved has teamed up with a potential rival. Prior to the release of original Xbox, Microsoft worked closely with Sega during the development of Dreamcast. Because Microsoft brought, I think, what was it? Windows SE. And to Dreamcast. So and Nintendo's once teamed up with Sony to develop a disc-based version of the SNES. Neither of these partnerships provide to be particularly fruitful. Only time will tell. With this one, we'll be assuming that it's even comes to pass in the first place. Sorry, one second. Okay, so what I could see is, I don't think Xbox really cares where they put their games on. They just want people to subscribe to Game Pass. And the rumor is that the Nintendo Switch 4K, I think that's what they're going to call it, or something like that, like the Pro version of the Switch, is going to be maybe 4K compatible, or I think right now it's 720p on just the screen. So it might be like that. And then I think more Xbox One style games will be compatible with the Switch, because right now you can't really play Series X games on the Switch. But Xbox has streamlined their games, so they've done it so well that they can make a lower version of the game with lower assets, lower graphics, lesser frame rate. So they might be able to make a Switch version of the game, of the next game, because Doom Eternal is on Switch, and Doom Eternal is a very heavily demanding game in terms of graphics, but they're able to bring it down in order to put it on the Switch. So maybe the new Switch will have the new Elder Scrolls. And the only way I see this partnership working is if Nintendo can also put their games on Xbox. That would be incredible. I wouldn't really care as much, because I'm not really into Nintendo, but I'm thinking about just overall news in the overall video game landscape. It's gonna be big news. It might just, Sony might have a hard time dealing with those two. All right, next news story. This is from Forbes as well. Sony don't remake The Last of Us for PS5. So I've never seen a news story where everybody agrees with the same side. There's no two sides being oh yeah, you have one side and you have the other side. People are for The Last of Us remake for PS5. People are against it. most people, most podcasts I've listened to, most news articles that I've listened to, or read, sorry, they're all not for this PS5 remake of The Last of Us. So, news story by Paul Tassi. News and opinion about video games and television, movie, and the internet. Okay. Yesterday brought a new Bloomberg report that Sony was tasking some of its smaller studios with doing Naughty Dog's busy work. Bend and a new unnamed studio were at one point supposed to be supporting Naughty Dog's ongoing projects like Last of Us 2 multiplayer and a new Uncharted game. But perhaps most notably, the remaster of Last of Us said to still be ongoing. This raised a few eyebrows, considering that Last of Us Part 2 just came out last year, and Last of Us 1 feels like it wasn't out all that long ago, and it's already been remastered once. It's a 2013 game, right? So it's been 8 years? Because it's 2021 now. Yeah, so it's been 8 years since Last of Us 1 came out. And to be honest, I've seen PS3 versions of this game, and it still looks good for its age. It's still, like, even the PS4 version, they even remastered it even more. But the PS3 version is still playable, I think. So, I don't know. Maybe if they waited another 10 years to remaster it. But I think Sony just needs... Sony has just become so about, like, just making sure everything makes money. Well, it makes sense because it's a business, right? Not everybody's like Microsoft. Microsoft, who's worth like maybe almost $2 trillion now, and they can afford to maybe work on these, like, spend money on these smaller titles, or like or a new IP that might not be might not make all the money, but they can take the risk on it, And I think Sony is just not in that place right now, because Sony is a big company, but they're not a Microsoft, and their biggest division is the PlayStation division. At one point, it wasn't. At one point, it was either Walkman or it was their Sony TVs or like anything like that, Sony Blu-ray players. But now PlayStation is the big dog. It's the top dog. Like, they make way more money than their camera division, which their camera division is amazing. Actually, the camera I'm using right now for the podcast is a Sony camera. They make a lot of money, but like, not many people are using cameras unless you're into content creation or you're a photographer, videographer. But a lot of people are into PlayStation. The PlayStation is their biggest asset, and they know if PlayStation fails, Sony's gonna fail. So they have to make sure whatever content they're making for the PS5 has to be something that will sell, and I think that might be the issue. How long ago was this Last of Us? This may make you feel a touch old. It does already. It's 23 when it came out. The game debuted on the PS3 2013. Imagine a game that came out on PS3, PS4, and PS5. It's like GTA 5. GTA 5 came out on PS3, PS4, and now it's coming on PS5. Like, I feel like the PlayStation 3 was the last great generation of games. Honestly, I still feel like PS3, Xbox 360, and what was it, the Wii, was one of the best generations of all time. Some of the best games came out from that generation, and I feel like there's like so many remakes from that generation that keep coming out and out. And we all know it's like PS4. How many original games were made for the PS4? Like, how many original exclusives? Ghost of Tsushima. They made a sequel for Last of Us. They made a sequel for Uncharted, God of War, which is a PS2 game. Horizon Zero Dawn. Maybe that's it. Well, I can't think of any other exclusives that were unique to the PS4 and that came out on PS4 first. I think PS3 and 360 is one of the best generations of all time. But that's not the point. And The Last of Us Remastered was out the following year, 2014, meant to coincide with the launch of the PS4, but the game has continued to get performance patches and improvements since then. The idea is The Last of Us remakes would be done on The Last of Us Part 2 engine and would look close to that good. As a result, and yet going back in time, even all the way back to the PS3 era, Last of Us was always a good game ahead of its time visually. Here's the PS3 versus PS4 version. Visual Foundry. Yeah, I know it still looks good. And what the remaster looked like, further patching just over 4 years ago. PS4 Pro version. See how let's see how this looks. I've never seen. I've never seen the PS4 Pro version. Sorry.
Hi, it's Tom with Digital Foundry taking a look at The Last of Us running on PS4 Pro. Patch 1.07 is already out for this game, meaning we have PS4 over. But from what we've discovered today, that's just not the case at all.
Yeah, it looks pretty good. We don't have to go into it. In short, I have to agree with everyone more or less saying that this feels both unnecessary and too soon. In my estimations, remakes, remasters should be pretty transformative and not really focus on the series, where the sequel just came out within the past year. Case in point, with Diablo 2 Resurrected, a hugely transformative rework with vicarious versions for Blizzard. Okay. I died for the screenshot. Yeah, Mass Effect Legendary Edition, where the first game came out 2007. So yeah, enough time has passed for Last of Us. I mean, for Mass Effect to come out with a remaster. And I've seen the new version of it. It doesn't even look that good. But yeah, 2013 Last of Us, which has already seen one remaster, even if that was still 8 years ago, it still seems like the wrong use of resources. So did the idea Uncharted games could be next gen, which all again already looked great at the time. You have already been remastered once. These smaller studios would have cultivated their own games, not remaking old games that don't need to be remade. Not Naughty Dog, as they work on new project. Last of Us Remake is not officially announced, so who knows if it will actually come to pass in the end. It's a huge selling series, and imagine Sony believes it's probably is a good way to make some solid cash for the fan base and re-release it. Yeah. Again, I don't know. I think Naughty Dog, I think they need to do something new. Last of Us 2 definitely did not, like, it got Game of the Year awards, but it was a very controversial game. And it doesn't have the same, prestige as Last of Us 1. If somebody says Last of Us 1 is not one of the best games ever made, I just think their opinions, I just don't think they have good taste in games. That's like, Last of Us 1 is one of the greatest games ever made, 100%. Just the storyline, gameplay there's some weird things with gameplay that obviously it's not the best at, but even the gameplay is like an 8. But if you look at graphics, you look at presentation, storyline, audio design, all that stuff, it is an absolutely incredible game. And it's one of the most cinematic games I've ever played. And so, last news story. Tim Sweeney's fortune jumps to $7.4 billion as Epic Games scores a $28.7 billion valuation. That is absolutely incredible. Epic Games' crusade against Apple and Google hasn't scared off investors, as it raises $1 billion this week in new funding round that valued that for. Sorry. As it has raised $1 billion this week in a new funding round that valued the Fortnite maker $28.7 billion. Sorry, excuse me. Forbes estimated founder CEO Tim Sweeney now has a net worth of $7.4 billion. Damn, he's a freaking billionaire now. Jeez. From $4.7 billion after its previous funding just 8 months ago. Epic Games boasted a May 20 that the Fortnite passed 350 million players. That's crazy. It made headlines last August when it was removed from the Apple App Store and Google Play Store due to direct payment options it implemented to allow players to buy items in the game in violation of Apple and Google policy to take 30% a cut of all in-app purchases. Sweeney hasn't relented, slamming the tech giants as monopolies, and Epic Games is pursuing a legal action with an antitrust trial set in May. Out of that $28 billion, how much do you think Fortnite is worth? Fortnite, okay, obviously the two biggest things they do is Fortnite, and they make the Unreal Engine. Unreal Engine is literally, I don't know what the stat is, but I'm assuming like a huge percentage of people who make video games use Unreal Engine. I don't know how big it is, but I'm assuming 50% at least. And you have to pay a license to use that engine for every game, so they make money off the licenses, and they make money off Fortnite. So I never imagined they were $28 billion, but now it makes sense seeing that they have the Unreal Engine, and now they also have their own marketplace, the Epic Game Store, where they give away free games. They probably don't make that much money off the Epic Game Store, but they're probably making some money because people are coming. I go on the Epic Game Store every now and then just to see what free games are out there, But yeah, the controversy hasn't stopped players from contributing to download and play Fortnite through the Epic Game Store. Epic is expected to lose at least $330 million by offering free games and deals as it competes to gain market share from Steam and gaming platforms like Valve, billionaire Gabe Newell, sorry. Epic's previous investor aren't suing. It still has plenty of cash to offset the investment. Sony invested $250 million in a $1.7 billion round last year, which that lifted Epic Games' valuation to $17.3. Last year, it was worth $17.3 billion, and it jumped up to $28 billion. So it moved $10 billion, $11 billion in 1 year. Man, it's crazy. Like, the pandemic was going on, but like these companies have like not triple. It's 1/3 of their valuation. They've improved it. That's crazy. And pumped it to another $200 million the past week for announcement. Epic said the press release that the funding will support its long-term vision for the metaverse. The tech buzzwords describing a collective virtual reality. It has hosted virtual Fortnite concerts featuring artists like Travis Scott and Marshmello Arnudez in the last 2 years, strengthening its players' community. Sweeney remains the company's control shareholder. Epic says the Forbes estimates that he owns 28% equity. 28%, Jesus Christ. And Chinese internet gaming Tencent, largest outside shareholder, owning 40%. That's crazy. And the spokesperson for Epic's declined to comment further on Sweeney's ownership. So 40%. So another 10% ownership, then they can't say anything bad about China. Then because they'll have the majority. And then it'll be Epic Games will be a shill for the Chinese Communist Party. I won't be surprised by that. The boost lifts Sweeney 50 past SAS founder James Goodnight as the richest person in North Carolina. Makes sense. Epic is based in Cary, North Carolina, and Sweeney is an active land conservationist in the state, and where he has bought 50,000. Yeah, he bought an old mall. Okay, 50,000 forest land to keep it being developed. Okay, that's pretty cool. He also bought a mall to build a new Epic. Build a new headquarters for Epic. I wonder how much money Epic rakes in taxes for the state of North Carolina. Just imagine that. That's crazy. Okay. Thank you again for the click. I stream on Twitch every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. You can follow the Twitter and Instagram, same name, Cole_41, and you guys have an amazing day.